Hello, greetings to you, my sweet friends. So, today we are doing some cutting. We're going to be practicing cutting and using scissors. Some of you may already know how to use scissors, but some of you may not. This may be the beginning for you. So, I'm going to show you, first of all, how you hold scissors, okay? Whenever you're holding scissors, you're going to always have your thumb on top. Okay, so here's some scissors, and I'm going to put my thumb, and I'm going to kind of do it like towards me. I'm going to kind of go like that. It seems a little crazy to do it that way, but that's how we're going to do it. So just so you could see. All right. Now when I'm cutting, I'm usually cutting with the scissors going away from me. Okay. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but like going away like that. All right. So we're going to be making a layered picture. And the layered picture, as you will see, comes in the envelope. And some of your pages might look different, but this is how this particular one is. And you'll notice a few things. One, you will notice it says, cut this off. So after you cut that line right there, the part that says cut this off, that's going to go in the recycle. Okay? All right. So you're going to pick up your scissors, and of course you're going to have it cutting away from you. And I'm just going to follow right on the line. I'm going to do it. Here, I'll go like this. As much as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be right below the line. Even if you go just a little bit below the line, then you won't see the black part on your picture later. But you're just going to cut. You're going to open, shut. And you're going to be careful not to scissor or to cut your fingers as you're doing it. See, and then as you get closer to the edge, you're going to continue following the line. So that's going to go in one pile, and this is going to go in another pile, okay? All right. Where did I put my tray? Oh, yeah, right here. I have a tray right here. I'm putting it in my tray. All right. So then I'm going to get the next one, and you're going to notice it might be the same color. It might be a little bit different. And it's, as you can see, it's kind of a hill. But again, I'm just going to, with my scissors going away from me and my thumb on top, I'm just going to cut, cut, cut. Right on that line. As much as possible. Now, if it's not perfect, that is okay. It does not have to be perfect. Then you're going to put one in the recycle pile and one in your save pile. Then you're going to get the next page. You're going to do the same thing. You're just going to keep doing the same thing on each of the pages. If you get too tired of doing it, you could take a break. You don't have to do it all today. You don't have to do it all right now even. You could just take a little break, and that's totally okay. Now, you're just going to do the best you can. Open, shut. Open, shut. When I say open, it's you're pulling your fingers apart. Sorry to those of you that already know about that. Because I know that that's something that you've already practiced. All right. See, and then recycle pile and keep pile. And then there's only 2 more pages left after this. Well, there's 3 pages, but one of them we're not even going to cut. So this one, it says cut off. So I'm going to cut it off. We're going to keep the bigger part of this one. This is going to be the water page. Because there's a lake in this picture that you don't even know is a picture yet. All right, again, recycle pile, keep pile, okay? All right, last page of cutting is this one. You can see it's dark. It's a black one, and there's only a white line. So hopefully it's still there by the time you open this and see it and are doing this project. I just used a colored pencil, so it should be there. It's very light, so you won't see it as easily, but it's there. This one may not say cut this off on yours, but just know that you're going to keep the bigger part of this page. Okay, scrap pile, recycle, and keep pile. Okay, on the very back, there is a sort of blank page. Actually, I don't know if that's better or not, because it's in the shadow. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of a blank page. And the blank page is going to be where you are going to be doing some of your gluing, okay, onto. So what I'm going to do, I should have sent you home a scratch page, but I didn't. So I'm going to use a different scratch page. I happen to have one nearby that I could use. sorry. I don't want to use a colored page because that would waste it. Actually, you could even use some of those scraps if they're big enough. Mine are small because they were already cut pieces, but here we go. All right, now the glue that you use for this part is up to you. You could use, you know, a glue, a white glue, or you can use a glue stick. It's up to you, completely up to you. If you're going to use a glue stick, I want to remind you about the importance of how to use it. You're going to just, my glue stick is empty, so I better check and see if I have a different one, and I do. Hopefully this one's not empty. Okay, good, this one's not. As you can see, it's kind of a brand new one. So I'm just, and it's, see how it's just barely open? I think that you could see that. I'm just going to open it just a little bit more. I'm going to put the cap very nearby because I don't want to lose it. And I'm going to pick up my first piece of paper, the biggest one, the last one that you did, okay? And what I'm going to do with it is I am going to glue it. I'm going to pick, which side is the back side? Probably the side that has some of the writing on it, or the line on it. So I'm just going to do it right on that edge as much as possible, just as careful as possible. And I'm going to go down the bottom or side edges also. And the reason I have a scratch paper underneath is just in case I make a mess and go over the paper. I don't want to get it all over the table or wherever you're doing your project. You don't want to get it all over that. So, and you definitely don't want to get it on the piece that you're going to be gluing onto, which is this one, okay? The reason you don't want to get it on there is because you don't want to get it too sticky, unless, except for right where you're going to glue it. All right, do you see what I did? I lined it up on the very bottom as much as possible. See, I did that, and now I'm going to flatten it. Okay, all right. Now I chose a glue stick for that side. It doesn't have, I might do a different color, a different glue now for the next one, just so I can show you the different one. I'll do it for the blue one. Now you can see on mine, I scribbled on this side. I said, don't cut this one because I did it the wrong size. So this one, again, you know, we always talk about dot, dot, not a lot. This one, you're not going to be making dots per se. You're going to be making lines. You're going to really kind of make a whole line of it. So hopefully that will work for you. Uh-oh, is my glue clogged? Aha, I should have checked that first, shouldn't I have? Okay, so hopefully that's going to work. There we go. I'm going to go near the edge, but not all the way to the edge. And I'm just making a whole line. I'm just going to go all the way. If I go too close to the edge, it's going to gush out, and it's just going to make a big mess. So I'm going to kind of go like this. Okay, now I'm going to use something else to kind of spread it a little bit, because I don't want it to be too bumpy. I just want to use, I want it to be smooth. So I'm just going to kind of go like this with a paper towel. Now you don't have to, because it might wipe off your glue. You don't want to wipe it off. You just want to kind of spread it around. So hopefully I didn't wipe off too much of it just now. It's still there. Let's see, it looks wet. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Now, since I'm using this kind of glue, it might get on my fingers a little bit, so I have to be so careful. But what you're going to do is you're going to line it up on the very bottom as much as possible, on the very bottom line, row, or excuse me, bottom edge, at the very bottom edge of this black paper. And you're just going to go all the way down, and then you're going to flatten it again, okay? All right. Now, you'll notice that, remember how I just wiped some of the glue? Well, I'm noticing that it's not real tight at the very top right there, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Be careful if you do that right there, because it might gush out. Hopefully it won't gush out on mine. All right, there's that. All right, now I'm ready for the next mountain. This mountain's going to be this side. So again, I'm going to look at the back side to see if I could tell which side has the black marker. I think I cut it all off, so that's good. I think I'm going to use a glue stick again this time. And I'm going to do it with a scratch page behind it, because I don't want to get it on this little tabletop here surface. And opening it again, keeping the lid nearby. Doing it, this time I'm doing it right on the edge, because I want it to be a tight seal on the edges. So that's why the scratch paper underneath it is good, because it's kind of like anything that spills over it or is rolled over it will just go onto the scratch page instead of anywhere else, but it will be a nice tight fit on my picture. Okay, so now I'm going to move that scratch page Again, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to line it up at the bottom again. Lining it up way at the bottom. And if you find that your pages are not exactly the right size, the same size as each other, don't worry about that. Okay, some of them were cut that way, but at the very end, you have the option to cut it even further on the very edges if you want to get rid of those extra pieces, or put a frame around it. That's another option. So that's how it's looking so far. Oh, it's looking good. All right, now I'm going to get this one, which is the mountain. I'm going to, again, use a glue stick. You might want to use a glue stick if you have it. Like I said, glue is fine too, but this is working quite well. Right around the edges. Oops, I should make it not upside down for you. And like that. All around the whole thing. Don't push too hard when you're doing that, okay? You just want it very lightly on there, and you got to do it quick because it dries fast. You don't want it to dry before you're ready to actually seal it on your picture. So there's that. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and I did it as near the edge as I could, and the bottom, that blue is definitely not functioning the way I want it to, but that's all right because it's looking good. There's that so far. And now I'm going to do one more this time. Now make sure that when you're adding that last one, that it's the way you want it. Like you want it, I could turn it around and have it this way if I wanted. Just whichever way looks better. So I don't know which way looks better. Maybe that way, because this side has a high side right here. Maybe this side will have a high side on the opposite side. What do you think? I hope that works. Yeah. So then that means if I'm doing that, I have to make sure that I put the glue on the correct side. I think I'm doing it correctly. Oops. So it looks like it's going to be on the wrong side at the moment, but it won't be when it's turned around. And then I'm going to just glue it all around, all over, quickly, like I said, and not too hard. And then we're going to add it to our bottom of the page here. And then I'm going to flatten it. And voila, there is our picture, our layered picture. So good luck with that, and I hope that you have a fun time making it. If the cutting is too hard and you need help, ask your parent or one of your brothers or sisters if you have one that's older, or a friend who knows how to cut. That's fine, but it's good practice to cut, okay? All right, because you're going to need to someday. I love you, and I hope that you enjoyed that project. Okay, bye.